How's everyone doing? Welcome back to the Chefing with Shane YouTube channel. Today, I'm making chicken fettuccine Alfredo. And this recipe, guys, 30 minutes, super easy, way better than your local Olive Garden. No reason for you guys to be using store-bought sauce here. 30-minute recipe, quick and easy. Let's show you guys how to make it. All right, guys, here are the ingredients. So you're gonna need 3 chicken breasts. You're gonna need 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper, 1 stick of butter, 1.5 cups of fresh grated Parmesan cheese, 2 tablespoons of Italian parsley, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, 1 box fettuccine pasta, and 2 cloves of garlic. Let's get into it. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get this water ready for these noodles. All right, we're just gonna turn this water up to high heat, throw a little salt in there, and get the noodles in there boiling. Just cook them until they're al dente. All right, at this point, while our water's boiling, we're gonna take care of our garlic and parsley. Just gonna mince this garlic up. Everyone likes chicken Alfredo. If you don't like chicken Alfredo, you'll probably like seafood Alfredo. Anything. But this sauce is super simple. Store-bought sauce is anything, it's just better to make. Just better to make the fresh sauces, spaghetti sauce, Alfredo sauce, anything. Alright, looks nice and minced. Let's move on to the parsley. Alright, now that we're done with that garlic, we're gonna move on to this parsley. Need about 2 tablespoons of this. Always just adds great flavor. Make sure you tuck those fingers. Don't want to be losing fingers before you eat this dish. And this dish is just one of those that you can kind of add whatever you want into there. People do different types of veggies, broccoli, spinach, different cheeses, different meats. That looks pretty good to me. Let's move on. Alright guys, we're almost done with our prep work. The last thing we got to do here is shred up this cheese. And this is pretty self-explanatory here. Just going to take this grater and you're just going to start shredding this cheese. Not gonna make you sit through me shredding all this, so you need 1.5 cups. Just shred that up, get your 1.5 cups, and then we'll start making the recipe. Alright guys, when you shred that parm, that's what it should look like. Now we're gonna go put the noodles in the water. Alright guys, at this point we're gonna pour in that pasta. Alright guys, we're just gonna let that pasta boil up. It says about 10-11 minutes. You can always just taste it. That always does the trick. Alright guys, we're gonna get this chicken on the skillet. You want to get a decent sized skillet because you're gonna end up putting everything in there at the end. But you're gonna want to start with about 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And then get your chicken. Put that in the pan. Alright, now you're just going to season that chicken up with your salt and pepper. Both sides. Alright. We're just going to let this chicken cook up for about 6 to 7 minutes per side. But it all depends on the thickness of your chicken breast and how long it's going to take. And so I would always just advise you to either cut it open or use a thermometer. Just make sure that it's cooked all the way through. Alright guys, these noodles are done. You just want to drain them out. We're just waiting on this chicken to be cooked up. We'll start working on the sauce. Alright guys, chicken's done. I had to cut this piece up. Always remember, cut your fattest part of your biggest piece of chicken up first, because If that's done, everything else will be done. If you cut that skinny piece up first, big piece might not be done. What you're gonna want to do here, you got that whole stick of butter. You're gonna keep that pan on medium heat. Just throw that stick of butter in there. Let that melt up. And we're gonna get that garlic in there. Alright, so this garlic with this butter in here, it's gonna saute this garlic for about 2 minutes. Get nice and fragrant. And while you're doing that, go pour yourself a cup of this heavy whipping cream. Alright guys, been letting this garlic cook up for about 2 minutes now. So at this point, we're gonna throw in that whole cup of heavy whipping cream we got. You're going to want to mix this continuously until you notice that it starts to incorporate in there. Because after the chicken and the noodles are done, this recipe starts to come together really quickly. You're just waiting on this to thicken up, and then you're just going to start adding your cheese in. Give that a minute or two. Alright guys, at this point it's been cooking up here for probably about 2 minutes. Starting to thicken up, starting to simmer. So you're at the point now where you're going to start throwing in some of this cheese. It's nice fresh grated Parmesan. The reason that we're grated this fresh is because you're going to get it much finer than you could in a bag at the store. The bag at the store is good in a pinch, and it would be much better than using a jar of sauce, but using this, you're going to get it nice and fine. It's going to melt up so nice, and it's already starting to thicken up. Get the last of that cheese in there. I'm just going to mix. Mixing until all those lumps of cheese are out of there and everything's all nice and melted in there. But that is just a really nice consistency. And what we're gonna do, that's why I said make sure you got a nice big pan, because we're gonna end up adding everything back in here. Alright guys, at this point we're going to add in our pasta. And you're going to want to go back to using the tongs. That sauce get nice and incorporated in there. Look at that guys. That is just beautiful. I didn't end up using that whole box of pasta sauce. Recipe calls for 12 ounces. It's a 16-ounce box. So just go ahead and take out just a little bit of it. That sauce is looking really nice. We're going to chop up that chicken so we can put it in here. Alright guys, at this point we're going to chop up this chicken just in nice little strips. Pretty much done with this recipe. Just one piece. Alright, I'm gonna chop up the rest of this chicken, guys, and then we'll start plating this up. Alright guys, it's about time to plate this up. Start off a couple twirls of noodles. There in the middle. Get yourself a couple pieces of chicken there. And a little bit of fresh There's parsley to garnish. And that's the dish, guys. Can't wait to try it. All right, guys, dish is done. I'm starving. It looks delicious. Very excited to dig in here. Let's take a nice bite. It's so nice, creamy. The chicken has a perfect crust on it. You get a slight hint like garlic, but it's not, the sauce isn't too runny. Nice and cheesy. It's delicious. Hope you guys get a chance to try it out. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next.